Hello everyone, this is Steve with the Free Bullion Investment Guide. Today is July 27th and I'm doing a review and outlook price analysis for the US dollar. This is the US dollar's 4-hour chart, and to quickly review last week's video, I was showing you these two rising expanding wedges. I was showing you this one just to point out that they were happening, and then I pointed out this other one expecting the same outcome out of the price of the US dollar, but clearly that didn't happen. The price just continued to rise, and really I put that on fundamentals. We had some good numbers come out last week in the economic indicators. We had the existing home sales came out lower than expected, but we did have new home sales come out more than expected, and we also had jobless claims reduced, and the GDP, which they for some unknown reason didn't log here, but they were expecting 1.9%, and it came out at 2.1%, and above expectations. So excuse me, let me get back to the chart here. So that helped the dollar rise. Those indicators helped the dollar rise for the most part, and it really kind of puts a softener into what's going to happen with the Fed next week. The Fed meets on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, on the 30th and 31st, and they'll come out on the 31st telling us whether or not they're going to leave rates the same or drop them. As far as the economic indicators of last week goes, for the most part, if somebody was just an outside observer and hasn't been hearing anything in the financial news, they would say that they were going to leave them the same. But otherwise, the market really is basically hoping on a rate cut. So we'll really have to see what happens. These two patterns can now be removed. They were denied. Well, the one was confirmed when I showed it to you, but the one that I showed you for the outlook has now been denied. Now, what I am coming up with now is a large rising wedge out of the US dollar, which is a negative pattern. So maybe traders are expecting a rate cut. So this pattern may be telling us something that's going to happen in the future. I really couldn't tell you. We'll just really have to wait and see what happens. But I can tell you out of the gold and silver charts, I'm also seeing positive short-term patterns. Silver's in a long-term overall negative pattern, but we'll really I don't put a whole lot of weight onto it just yet, but we'll just have to see. And if you are interested, you can go and see this week's silver video. But to get back to the dollar here, I'm showing you a large rising wedge. It is a negative pattern, meaning that the dollar should or is expected to drop below it. It could come down to the 96.60 level, or it could, if the Fed lowers rates, I wouldn't be surprised if it flirts with 95.75. 95.75 has been a pretty solid support level repeatedly, so the price has stayed above 95.75 numerous times over the last year. So we'll really have to see what the Fed does. I look forward to talking to you again next week, and thank you for your time. Take care, and God bless.